All right, we'll start right from the top at 0000, of course, right now.
His claim that that person found it on IMDb that wasn't created until after that stream.
Yeah, the IMDb didn't have all this stuff until after that stream.
And you're sure on the timestamps on that?
All right, on the IMDb?
No, I mean on the when you compare his stream and that popping up on Google,
yeah,
to the IMDb creation.
Yeah, because he's like completely screen sharing, so his the time pops up on his computer a lot.
Oh, it's got the time and the date and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys sound good to go then. I don't watch Destiny, so I don't know.
Same
here. Yeah, I don't
what
either.
his shit is, or when he streams, or what his usual habits are.
Someone linked this to us with a timestamp, and I'm just like, thank you for the timestamp. I'm not watching a whole day.
All right, I know this sounds like a pain in the ass, but I don't do internet, so I wanted to I wanted her to show you the little video thing and make sure that it ducks in it like everything looks right. Because
the only thing I'd recommend to you guys is people are going to be straight up fucking with you. They're going to feed you false information just to watch you react and then laugh about it. So if people are like saying, "Oh, I've got these docs I'm going to send to you," or "I've got this shit I'm going to send to you," you can never really confirm it. You know what I mean? Because it could just be somebody fucking with you.
Well, all right. The thing with my grandmother's picture, somebody said that was up on his subreddit for like 20 minutes and they grabbed a screen grab. But you told me the other day, like, you don't trust screen grabs.
No, because anybody can alter it. And I mean, the thing too to like be aware of is if you start getting like random fucking people you've never talked to before.
I don't talk back to them.
No, I mean, but if you get random people you've never talked to before start sending you shit, that's usually a really good indicator that you're being fucked with.
Yeah, that I picked up on. I don't talk back with them.
Old is I think it's like Pascal and his little group, and I think they're probably the ones that sent it to Destiny. Like, hey, look what we uncovered, kind of shit.
Yeah, Zeph sent it to Pascal. Pascal couldn't sit on it. He couldn't handle sitting on it. The timeline for this is too perfect. From Zeph starting to talk all that shit about my stepfather. You know, the stuff that's like he's talking about my stepfather. He's talking about wrestling storylines that were on this pro wrestling Facebook that I used to have that he had found. Like, I know where all his stuff came from. He thinks I have a glass eye because someone threw a fireball at me and I'm wrestling. Like, this is how I know where his information came from. They only have one of my wrestling names. They only have those pictures. Like, I was a masked wrestler through Texas and shit for years and years.
Here's what I don't get. Like, but and this is what I guess I'm curious about. Like, if they only have like one of your wrestling pseudonyms and shit, like one of the names you used when you're doing that, how are they finding pictures of your relatives?
Because the wrestling name connects to
I'll tell you how. On the Facebook profile, I'll tell you. It's weird. I trust Jim. I never thought I'd even have conversations with you. It's weird.
It's weird.
The thing with finding my grandparents, there's a lot of pictures.
Hold on, let me cover the lie, babe.
Right before my grandfather passed.
Oh wait, you wanted to speak? Pause it at 3:22. Were you going to talk there, or were you just giving?
I was just giving a quick take. Let me just cover the lie for you, Vamp. Don't. I got it.
And somebody's saying, who is or when did this take place? Was it late January? Yeah, late January maybe.
Last year.
Also, they're saying there's some tranny who went to high school with Donga. Is this true or?
Yeah, they were on Cog's server.
So what are they saying exactly?
I don't know the story because I didn't watch that part of the show. I'm sure.
All right, well, let's just try it. By the way, that's disgusting, Negro Joe. You're sick as fuck. All right, there's Roxy plays games in the call. I thought last night's show was pretty crazy. This one's getting there. Are you gonna speak, or should we just go back to the recording? I think they're muted for some reason. Roxy, go ahead and speak. All right, we'll go back to them. Yeah, see if you can get your mic fixed. Sure. We'll continue at 3:22.
They're certainly doing a good job of pretending to be a woman because they have nothing interesting to say.
All right, 3:22. Let's continue.
The way where like they would come to wrestling events.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of pictures of me like hugging my grandparents and stuff while they're at the events and shit like that because.
Oh, so that's how they connected it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in ridiculously bad health. He's in ridiculously bad health in those pictures. But right now, she's in shit health. Like, she's going to be dead within a year.
So are the pictures that are like
Wait,
showing
did you just say
your
his
grandparents and
grandma's
shit
gonna
coming to
die in a
shows or
year?
whatever?
Yeah.
Does
Yes.
that link to their Facebook or to her Facebook or add to anything that would identify her?
No,
Because
like
if they figure out,
my grandparents, I don't think have Facebook. I think my grandmother may have had one forever ago, but she doesn't know how to Facebook. So I don't think it's
I
linked to me or
can
anything.
flat out tell you your Facebook would link to your mom's.
Oh, glorious. Well,
Yeah.
all right, here's the other thing.
Your mom's stuff
Steph
has been
found
scrubbed
this
off the
thing.
websites.
Yeah, Zev found this fucking Facebook, and then he flagged it down. So there's like I can't go back into it and see. Like I can't get into that Facebook account.
oh, I gotcha. All right, yeah, because I was going to say if they find a relative of yours, then they're going to know what your name is. It's not going
This
to
was
just be a
all-
wrestling pseudonym.
This was all weird and calculated. Like you can get. I don't know if you were listening to the Kumite the morning it happened, but I'm just like somebody sent me something that was a Facebook video, and I clicked. I was like, I can't go. I can't see the video. I have no Facebook. What the fuck?
That was the
This is
Kurt
how
Russell
deep
fight.
That was when that happened.
Jim, Dave. Well, all right, Tonka, you want to talk about the person you were talking to yesterday?
Which one? Okay, yeah, you can tell Jim. I don't care.
They started trying to contact his once fiance or whatever.
Yeah,
And they've been doing that
it
for
sounds
a while.
like it sounds like what they're doing is just.
but it's been for a
They're
while.
trying to get a rile out of shit. They're trying to fuck
Yeah.
with.
Well, no, I mean it's like standard life ruination shit. I mean they're going to track down relatives and fiancés, girlfriends, neighbors, places you've worked. They'll probably start sending you shit. Like I don't know. It's if I were you, what I would do, is I would call up whatever local restaurants are near you, like the fucking pizza joints and shit that deliver.
Yeah.
And just be like, hey man, there's some funny shit going on. People are fucking with me. So unless you get a call from this specific number, don't deliver anything.
Well, here's the thing with my addresses. Linked to that, like this Facebook profile was old. Like it's from back when I was doing that specific stage name. This is years ago. So I don't live anywhere near what those would be linked to.
Oh no, I'm just telling you, like for a heads up. I mean, this is.
Oh
what I
yeah,
would do.
yeah. I've still called law enforcement to make sure they know
Jim,
about
you
swatting and all that stuff.
want to know
Yeah, that's the-
how little connected Tonka was to his wrestling life? I'm
going to guess.
wait.
pretty
A woman
minimal if
he
they have
used,
about him.
a woman he used to fuck that ended up getting with a tag team partner he used to wrestle with, who both of them fucking actually were fans of Tonka's Grapplevision channel, which was a wrestling channel.
Yeah, after I left her, she got with this other fucking wrestler. They're sad sacks, but they ended up being fans of my wrestling channel.
That isn't.
So when he got
Comment
cut-
all the time, talking about how much of a genius I am.
Yep.
Yeah, his wrestling channel is
Yeah, that
linked
one.
with his wrestling. Like,
Well, one of
Now, let me pause at 6:45. This is the same wrestling channel he gave to you, failure, and then took back, correct?
took back. Yeah.
An Indian giver, so to speak. Would that be
Yeah,
a fair
but-
way to describe it?
By the way, he took it back last month, right before the Andy stuff. So he was calling Andy a thief while he also fucking took back the channel that he gave to me.
All right, so
But yeah, that's one of the fucking chicks that got with his tag team partner.
all right. Zidane, should we continue playing a little bit more of this?
We can skip ahead to well, he already gave his advice, so we can skip to 3140.
You think we should just go ahead and skip? Okay.
They talk about a lot of random stuff too. Like they go over like Opie and Anthony and stuff like that. It's really random. I listened to a lot of it. So
They were just
and
having
31
a regular conversation, and Donga. The only thing I can figure, and I talked about this with other people, including one of the principals of the recording, is that he was trying to get dirt on Jim somehow. You know what I mean? Like, why else record this? And there's a point later on in the conversation where you ask about Worski, and it seems like he's trying to, I don't know, get something under his belt here to use later. It's just soap opera villain behavior, I guess you could say.
I don't know. These guys sound boring, man. They sound really boring.
3140, is that what you said, Zidane?
Yeah, that's where he. Well, I'll let it play out, but I think people will find it funny what he says.
All right, 3140. Let's do it right now.
And I've met him, and he's actually mentioned me by that wrestling name on his show because we did a show together. I've had a match with the current WWE champion. Has AJ lost the belt yet?
I don't think
I haven't watched any current like my run was from like early WWF up through like some ECW stuff, WCW stuff. And then it fucking basically dead ends when
Jim
the McMahons
Attitude
bought
Era.
WCW. Yeah, and then I was like, I'm no longer interested because they bought up. They didn't stop there. They bought everything up.
Dude, even though I was wrestling, I lost interest in wrestling.
What do you think of McMahon?
Stone Cold Jim Metokur.
XFL shit.
He should have done it.
He seems fucking hyped on it though, because he has complete control now. He has no business partners. This is all him.
I think it's too far away.
What should I say?
Yeah.
All right. What's the next stop, Sam?
So 38-34. This is foreshadowing. Donga says he doesn't want to talk to Jim because he doesn't want to hate him.
Okay.
It said 38-34.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me.
By the way, Ralph, that's really funny. Now he's the fuck dog.
This is true, and we had a good laugh about it because I know Bill Barron. I mean, I don't know him personally, but I follow the wrestling press, and Bill Barron's is quoted in there all the time. He doesn't just represent AJ Styles; he represents quite a few wrestlers.
I know.
Yeah, but he's like his main point man, though. He's like manages his career.
He knows everybody that AJ's ever trained with, and he's like, he's trained with the same people for 10 years. We don't know that he's a goof.
38-34. Let's play it right now.
All right. But you being one of the 6 people that I actually watched on YouTube, didn't really want to meet you either.
Yeah, it's weird.
I really don't want to end up hating him and not being able to watch his shit and us getting into it. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, man. You meet somebody you watch. It doesn't matter what they do, and then it goes badly, and you're like, oh fuck.
I didn't want the attention of Paul, and I didn't want the attention of you. Luckily, fucking Liz.
What does
Jim
Paul
said
think
nice
of you?
things
Though?
to me in 2014.
Paul, the only thing I've seen about me on Paul is that I'm monotone. And
what do they say about? Does Paul talk about me?
Oh yeah,
Paul's been talking about all this shit. They're more fascinated by the liberalist shit and Kraut's implosion, and then internet blood sports.
Yeah. There's a internet blood sports thread.
What?
Yeah, they like it.
It's even funnier because when you got doxxed, everyone just like thinks someone posted your docs, and then everyone starts posting pictures of Destiny.
Well, let me pause at 39-37. Vamp seems to know a lot about what goes on over there, doesn't she?
Oh, she was on the most of the time. Anything I found out about the fucking boards was because she was fucking telling everybody what was going on.
I told you guys that bitch shits on 8chan all fucking day. Her ID is 7EB258. That's her.
I had to I had to stop looking at it because it was all right, yeah, no more. Like anytime she would fucking bring up oh look, this fucking stream is fucking talking shit about Tonka and you, whatever. It's like, I don't give a fuck. I just want to go watch fucking videos and shit. Fuck off.
She literally sits on the board all day long, dude. She talks about you. She talks about me. She talks about Ralph. She talks about Andy. It's fucking.
It's all right. 39-37. We'll play a little bit more of this and skip ahead. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Let me just go ahead and do it. Metokur says, Ralph, I demand on to discuss this damning audio of myself. I know it's horrible. It's really bad. It's really terrible for you, Jim.
Yeah, it's really.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch to Hangouts. I need to get.
It's a really bad video for Metokur.
I need to get some more ice anyway. My throat's about to give out if I don't drink some bourbon. So, or maybe I just want to drink bourbon. That could be it. But all right. Let me switch here. Zidane, while we switch over, can you hold on, let me do this. There's the Hangout link. It should pop up in this. Oh fuck. God damn it. Here, I'll just post it in the Slack.
I'll send it to everyone.
Yeah, send it around. I'll send it to Metokur myself, and yeah, we're gonna play that bit. I see Jim live tweeting about it. There's the Hangout. Let me read a couple of these real quick. Let's see. Get Off My Lawn says, if you make over 20K on PayPal, they send you and the IRS a 1099. Poor Donga. Kumite Support says, someone as exceptional as Tonka Saw will never be forgotten. He will remain in our hearts forever. Panzerfaust 217 says, what if the Donga tribe flees to Mexico? Polly the Polar Bear says, Donga will have plenty of time to show off his fighting ability in federal prison. Daddy, no. Coffin Joe says Donga spread butt AIDS in jail. Naked wrestle with cellmate Hector. Despised username says the Donga tax and other fraud saga is like a trailer trash episode of American Greed. Let's see, American Greed Z. Someone asked in chat, someone asked in chat, why would a car lot have a notary stamp? I mean, I think that's pretty obvious why they would have one, but Sweet Shekel says, hi, my name is Ethan Ralph, and I swear I will pay Zidane, and I'll stop there. Mr. Metokur, how you doing, sir?
I feel betrayed, Ralph. How could you play this? How could you violate my trust and play the secretly recorded audio?
No, it's not like I sent it to you first. Actually, I wanted to run it past you because, you know, it is a secretly recorded audio. So I was like, well, I'm going to ask Jim about it. But anyway, go ahead. What are your thoughts on it so far?
Well, no, like I told you, damn, there's nothing I say in fucking private that I wouldn't say in public. That's why I'm not really.
That's a pretty good policy. That's a pretty good policy, isn't it?
Well, then you're never surprised. But yeah, because I had no idea he was recording me, so I listened to it. This was for people trying to like place the time period of it. This is if you remember Pascal and I think Robin Gething from fucking the guy that got his fiance left him because Nigel Farage got her pussy wet. Yeah. So this is right around the time they were using like IMDb pages to fuck with people. So that's what I was talking about with the Destiny brought it up on stream and stuff like that. It's like a half an hour talking about that, and I give him basic bitch internet security pep talk kind of stuff, and then it's like an hour and a half of wrestle talk. But the Warski bit's the interesting one because like with everything that's fucking happened now, looking back on it, I'm almost certain, like especially looking at like statements JF and other people have made and Zoom has made about Tonka being a snake. Like I can't think of a reason as to why he would record it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Well,
I talked about this. I don't know if it was last night. Failure mentioned it. I think it was on Warski's program earlier that Tonka actually, and I don't know if Failure was on that call or not. But I think you were actually on the call, but I don't remember. But big Killstream tonight. I said, oh yeah. What do you mean? Like what's going on? And he said, Andy's, he's finally going to get rid of JF. I was like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, that would be a pretty big show. I'm sure we'll be talking about it. He said, yeah, just, keep your eyes peeled tonight and that's going to go down.
See, and I remember when the Andy and JF split happened because I know that they were having a back and forth and like, Andy talked about it on the Kumite for like one day. And I told him, well, do whatever your gut tells you, I guess. But, think about what you're going to, this is on the show, right? This isn't like in private. This is on one of these fucking episodes. But yeah, apparently Tonka's talking to people behind the scenes. It sounds like he's a busy little boy. But I don't know if Zidane has it time coded, but it's the Warski bit, I think really lets you know how slimy this fucker is. Because, I listened to this thinking, okay, well, I don't remember what I fucking talked about. You know what I mean? This is like post-stream. So I was like, hey, I have no idea. I wonder what the fuck we talked about. Hour and a half of fucking wrestling. Great damning audio there, Tonga.
It's 2 hours.
You stupid fucking engine. What are you thinking? Like this is what you secretly record. An hour and a half talking about Southern wrestling, you stupid fuck.
Now let me ask you before I get my ice, and we do have the Warski stuff time coded. I think there's a couple other things. I think you already have the video, right? Do I need to send you the link while we play it along?
There's the only interesting bits on this is also what I find funny is you tease this for a week and they're gonna be pissed.
There's a couple funny things we already played. First off, I didn't know you were such a huge Attitude Era fan. And what was your favorite superstar back then?
No, I told people I watch OSW, Old School Wrestling, like the guys that do those podcasts. That shit's amazing. Like they make a ton of money on Patreon too, by the way, which I'm happy because I love their stuff. But
I should have known when you mentioned the Shockmaster after the Monday Matt stream that your knowledge ran pretty deep.
I like the goofy shit. I mean, that's just what I said.
Hey Jim, are you a fan of my old wrestling channel, Grapple Vision?
I never watched wrestling. I never watched your channel. I never watched YouTubers aside from OSW.
All right, Zidane, I'm gonna let you handle for a second. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Oh boy, he's gonna go open one of those free casks of whiskey that he got on his phone.
It was a pretty good weekend, I have to say. But all right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I mean, I had to listen to the entire audio to get the timestamps.
Yeah, I gotta say, and failing, I suppose this is a jab at you, but holy shit, was this a boring conversation? Like he said it to me, and so I listened to it, and I was like, "Fuck me," because if this is what the Kumite was like in its heyday, it's just painful to listen to.
Dude, I understand. I listen to myself now, and I'm like, Jesus, can you hurry the fuck up? Like, no, stop.
There are a lot of there were a lot of parts where it was just boring. A lot of talking about wrestling, and then
lots of wrestling,
and then talking about Opie and Anthony.
Well, yeah, I love Jocktober. Like I have like a fucking addiction to that shit. So I mean I've driven like Jade can't fucking stand it at this point because I used to like listen to playlists of that shit for 8 hours straight. Like I love listening to old Jocktober episodes.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah.
What's the next timestamp, Zidane? By the way, I sent you the link in case you don't have it, Jim.
I don't even need it. I got it memorized.
So we can skip towards the end. There's a part where you shit on Magog a little bit, which I found funny.
Is that the fucking he's got that's the one that like the
wears makeup.
Yeah. Wasn't he kind of like the Amazing Atheist was doing for a while, where he's like all fucking decked out like a Halloween character and shit?
Yeah.
Magog's the one in the robe and shit, right?
Yeah, he is. He looks like a wizard or whatever.
Every time I hear his name, I'm like, isn't that what they call those animalistic creatures in that Andromeda show that Kevin Sorbo was on for like a couple of years?
Kevin Sorbo, I thought didn't he do Hercules?
Yes, that's
yeah. And then they also had this show Andromeda that was a discount Star Trek, and that's where Magogs came from.
Oh no, I have no idea. I all I know is like Sorbo did Hercules, and then he became religious, and they threw him out of Hollywood.
All right, let's see. So what's the timestamp on the next one, Zidane?
The Magog stuff is at 139.
Okay.
If you want to skip to that,
Just
and then
139 on the dot, or
139.49.
Oh, wait! Before you play it, that the audience didn't mishear that. Zidane just went from a timestamp of like 30 minutes to an hour and 39 minutes because this whole conversation that he cock teased you for a week about is about fucking wrestle.
Yeah,
now, you know what? I could play the whole thing through, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would like to hear the whole thing. Actually,
God, no.
Well, okay, so there's a part before that where Donga says that he knows people in wrestling and show you checks. If you want to listen to that, it's about an hour, 4 minutes and 35 seconds in.
I would like to hear that. Yeah.
Okay.
Hour 4:35. By the way, kudos to Zidane
for listening to this painful shit.
Hour 4:35. I'm dead serious. They would sit here and listen to the whole thing. I mean, there's
fucking hell, Ralph. You sent this to me, and you're like, "Is it okay if I play?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't care." I listened to it, and then I messaged you back, and I was like, "That is so boring." And you're like, "Yeah, I started watching a little bit of it." You pawned it off out of these poor motherfuckers.
Yeah, I did it. I watched the entire thing.
You really got to give it to Metokur Fembot for fucking spending countless hours every week screenshotting and recording everything Tonka says. I was like, do you have this? Do you have the thing with Tonka promising the stream for failure? And they were like, yeah. 20 minutes later, they had the whole fucking stream, and they sent it to me.
I forgot too that he did. That's Joya, right? The one he's talking about that fucked his wrestling partner.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? When I contacted her before the IBS apocalypse, she was like, if he ever says a single horrible thing about me, I'll make a whole video and I'll get every single ex he's ever had that he's put his hands on, and I'll get them to throw him under the bus. He's so fucking stupid. An hour before he brought her on, he sat and talked shit about her, and Metokur's Fembot screen capped the whole goddamn thing and sent it to me, and I have a whole little 20-second clip of him shit talking her.
All right, 104.35. I'm going to play it right now.
Yeah, right? Fucking shit.
Guys are getting $500 a shot right now in WWE, Jim. I can show you checks. I know guys in WWE now. I'm friendly with them. I sat around there's a video right now up of one of the tag team champions has a Let's Play channel. I know for a fact that they're getting fucked up beforehand because they're sitting in the fucking drug dealer's house. The guy everybody bought weed from. They're sitting right in his fucking house, and he even makes an appearance stoned out of his fucking gourd. It's fucking great.
God. There's a great video up. I wish I could remember the title of it. It's somebody's going to WWE and they get a meeting with.
Well, we can stop there, I think. But he knows people in WWE, guys. I mean,
is that the one where he talks about? I don't have the clip open. I'm just trying to go off memory here. After being forced to sit, it's like studying for a fucking algebra test or something.
Can I just say that Jim listened to the whole thing, and I didn't even listen to the whole thing, so that is some dedication.
You said it to me, and you were like excited. You're like, somebody sent me secret audio, Jim. Is it okay if I play it? I think they said it's really spicy, and then I listened to it. It's fucking hour and a half of wrestling.
No, there is some good stuff. There is a few good nuggets.
Oh no, there are a few good nuggets, but Jesus, Donga, next time, plan your op out a little bit. Have a conversation ready to go on.
Now, why do you think? Yeah, I was going to ask you, why do you think he did this? I mean, other than the obvious, trying to get some dirt on you or have something to hold over your head.
I don't fucking know. And the thing is, when I talk to people, like when I talk to them on Skype, or if I talk to them on like a fucking hangout, you're gonna hear the same shit I'm gonna say on live stream or just outright. It doesn't really fucking change very much. Like I talked to, I'll give you a case in point, Sons of Kojima.
Yeah.
Fred Fucks before his little meltdown, Mr. Waterwells in Africa for DSP. And I told him, I gave him advice. I said, hey, listen, man, you need to diversify. You're focusing way too much on DSP, and that's going to just kind of fucking blow up in your face. Didn't take the advice. I don't know what to tell you. And then Donga,
there seems to be a lot of evidence of people who don't take your advice ending up wishing they did.
Yeah, I don't know. I
so
even
guess earlier in this conversation that we played, you're like, yeah, people are going to be fucking with you. They're going to throw everything at you, and the more you react to it, it's just going to keep getting worse.
Well, yeah, and that's a weird thing too. It feels like when you say shit like that, it's obvious, right? But he's acting like but he's acting like.
But I mean, look, Donga's not internet people, so,
right? Exactly. I've never heard this before.
Yeah, I think I understand why he did it, Jim, and why he turned on you and he recorded all this. You see. Back in WrestleMania 25,
oh shit!
Matt was very jealous of Jeff Hardy's popularity. So failure knows about it. They were in the Royal Rumble, and he wanted a chance to one up Edge. And Matt had this chance; he was going to be able to do it. And he was so jealous of Jeff.
This is a good impersonation. I really want to cut my throat.
He hit him with a steel chair, and he turned on his own brother. And it's kind of like how you turned on him. Tell him, Philly. Tell him about how Jim turned on me.
No. Jim just what you said.
Now, before we move on, why do you think? I actually did talk to him about this. I'm like, why are you going at Jim? It doesn't make any sense. And he just spurred out and said, "Oh, I guess it all goes back to the IBS Apocalypse stream." And he said, "Well, there was,
it goes back to me not going on his fucking show.
Yeah,
let's just call a spade a spade. He's pissed off. He's not making money.
That was the excuse.
Here's the retarded thing. Hold on. Here's the retarded thing: is he didn't want you on the show because people would come and be like, Jim in the fucking chat anytime you fucking popped up, and I would be like, Jim, and he's like, God no. The same thing with Andy. Like, he was sick of people wanting Andy.
It's weird because there was a lot of segues in your show, Failure, where he would be like, "Oh, we got this guy on like with the MOC thing, and a couple other times you had people on, and he'd be like, yeah, this is really interesting and all, but it's just dumb. I'm not internet people. Why don't we get Jim in here and get his hot take?"
Now wait, and I also want to point this out. There was, I forget which live stream it was, but you kind of criticized the Kumite, and you said, Donga, you didn't call him Donga, then you called him Tonka. Tonka, cut out the fight me and IRL stuff.
And I told
constantly. And you told Failure to stop playing, Viva La Raza every fucking
I told him
seconds.
to lay off the sound clips, hint, Gator. So, I told him maybe it'll be a little more, a little more conservative with the sound clips. But no, I think with Tonka, the fucking issue was, I kind of was like, okay, well, this has kind of reached its arc. It's not really as entertaining as it was. And so if you go back, I didn't talk shit about any of these fucking people.
No, you didn't talk shit.
I moved on to fucking making fun of Sargon and doing other shit.
But you didn't go on his show for a while. And I remember there was a show where Amos Yee was on, and you went back on the Kumite. I think it was on Andy's channel at that point. And you went on there, and then Tonka got on Twitter and made a big deal about, they said Jim would never come back, and now here he is, and he was like spiking the football basically, and you kind of went on there even though you didn't really want to. You know what I mean? Like, I actually watched.
He changed the title of the fucking stream, and then he went and he updated the IMDb to include that Jim was there.
Yeah, exactly.
So fucking sad.
It was just, I don't know, it was just kind of weird. And if you watch that appearance, Jim just goes on there and says, "Oh, this guy's a fucking."
He was there for 6 minutes.
Yeah, there was nothing much there. I don't know.
Okay, I think this is my hot fucking take on this, right? If you run a fucking show and it has nothing to it. Like if the host can't, if you can't make it fucking entertaining for your audience, and the only reason they're entertained is the fucking guests that you're bringing on, nothing's going to highlight that more than people not coming on your show anymore.
Jim, there was no fucking show prep. Me and Andy were showing up an hour before the show to try to like prepare shit, and fucking Tonka would show up like about fucking 2 minutes before the show would start and not fucking stay afterwards. He didn't want to fucking prepare for anything.
What I'm saying is,
You're right.
When you stop having people come on and it's just the host flying solo, and it's boring as shit. That and it highlights that the host is boring as shit.
Well, that shows whether you can hang or not. So, I mean, you weren't around for a month or so just at the end of the year last year. And to be honest with you, when you don't show up, people are like, oh, where's Jim? Where's Jim? I mean, they get used to you being on the show. And you kind of, I mean, if you can't hold it, if you can't put on a program on your own, then people, they'll stop watching. You know what I mean? If you can't do it, you can't do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the comparison I was going to draw. Like if you compare the Kumite, right, and you compare the Killstream, you guys could go and do an episode without any fucking guests at all, right, just talking about news stories or whatever, and still draw in a consistent audience. If Tonka has to like fly solo and there isn't, we end up with dead air for 20 minutes and 200 people watching.
Well, and part of that is because, I mean, he's retarded, right? I mean, he can't actually talk about anything. You know what I mean? Besides,
nobody wants to listen to fucking Godzilla conversations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What can he really talk about? I mean, I remember, I think Failure was talking about this earlier today. Like, oh, this is the hot news story. This is the hot thing everybody's talking about.
Gay.
And he was like, oh, that's gay. We can't talk about that. What do you mean?
What? I'm supposed to talk about what everybody wants to talk about? No, fuck that shit.
Like, how retarded is that? Oh, I don't know. It's just
Jim, when you were really into the IRL fucking shit and making fun of that, like we could barely take a peek at it because that's fucking gay. Well, we're gonna do everything.
Donga has it so much better. Let's talk about Godzilla and wrestling. We don't want to talk about Ice Poseidon having a crack horse steal iPads. No, that's not exciting and interesting to watch take place. No, let's talk about Mothra for fucking 3 hours.
And
Gator, you went silent on me. Did I?
Gator, no.
You guys remember that time that giant plant creature turned into Space Godzilla and he had mountains coming out of his shoulder pads? God, that was fucking cool. What do you think about that, Failure?
Gator, are you there? Hold on. You have to hit us with a Tom Lee soundboard clip now that Jim took a shot at the soundboard. It has to be good though. Uh-oh, he's dead. All right, that's fairly good.
All right, this guy's getting a little nervous there.
Okay. So all right, let's just go back.
You want the next time clip?
It's 1:39:49, right?
Yes, that is.
Okay.
We just jumped 35 minutes, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, we could go into the theory of, the Attitude Era and ECW, but let's continue. 1:39:49 right now.
The dude in his fucking makeup and everything.
You should have quit pushing Magog.
He has
like
makeup?
5 months ago.
Yep. He plays a necromancer reacting to things in the regular realm.
The same shit everybody does.
Come on, fuck this. No, turn this off.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah,
Thank you.
by the way, I quit the show.
At least it was a little bit more creative at the time when everybody just had fucking avatars.
Well, at least now I know who the Amazing Atheist stole his bit from. I thought it was Jim Sterling, but it looks like he ripped it.
Yeah, he saw Magog and apparently Jack.
Yeah, he fucking robbed him completely. He stole his whole bit.
So when I found the dude, he only had 80 subscribers and, had like 3 jobs as a janitor. And now he's making like, almost 1,500 on Patreon plus
roughly.
Whatever.
All right.
Yeah, I think we've heard enough. By the way, Magog is a faggot. What was it? We were making fun of him like a month ago. What was it? I can't remember now. Was it? Oh, it was the Sargon stuff where he jumped out there. I think he said he was going to shut down his Patreon and all this shit. And I don't know. And we were talking about this with Dick Masters.
I didn't even hear the clip. So what did I say about Magog?
Basically, he just said he turned the shit off. Basically what I said. He's a faggot. Like,
okay, well, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
if you're the guy that dresses like a wizard is like a
just turn it off. Just turn it off. But we were talking about this, and this is totally off topic. But Jordan Peterson deleted his Patreon. I think Ruben deleted his, and they don't have anything ready to go. I was talking with Dick about this, and it just seemed like an astonishing misstep. You guys made this big show deleting your Patreon, and you were going to start this new service, and it's not up and running. And
Peterson will be fine because he.
Oh well, yeah.
He pulls in a lot of money independently on his website.
He'll be fine just with book royalties.
He pulls in a lot of money independently. But everybody else that doesn't have an independent website with their own payment processor already in place is kind of fucked.
Yeah, people need to start selling rugs for 2K.
Yeah.
Don't forget to wash your penis.
All right, let's see. So are we going to go to the Andy? Because that's probably the best part.
Yep, 153.34.
Yeah, that's definitely the most damning now that I look back on it, yeah.
153.54, you said?
Yeah, that's where you start talking about DSP, and then a minute later, you bring up Andy. Not even a minute later, a couple seconds later.
Okay, 153.54. Let me get there.
34.
34. Oh, God.
Sorry.
It was a long... No, never. You're a legend for going through this and timestamping it, which is what I should have done. But it's been a long week, Jim. I mean, come on, cut me a little slack. I was originally going to play this last week, and then Donga fucking backed out of the fight, so that was a whole show. And then something else happened. That was the whole show. Then we had Christy Winters, and I don't know. It's just been crazy. And then, of course, I was in Knoxville getting drunk all week. 153.54 or 34, right? That's correct, right?
Yeah, 34.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna hit it right now.
I would enjoy it while you can. Don't pull like a DSP. DSP thought that shit was going to last a decade for him, and it didn't. He should have saved his money. He should have really saved his money when it hit big.
The stuff for my I think last month it was like $6,000 ended up coming in off of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's a great amount of cash, and especially at the size of the channel was. I mean, imagine if you continue to grow throughout the year and you're sitting at 80,000 at the end of the year rather than 8. As far as subs go, I mean, it's just going to exponentially grow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Andy's getting to the fucking point where his reading super chats is almost as long as the amount of fucking stream that came before it, which is just insane.
Yeah.
Even though that's fucking great, I saw how much he was making at one point with the fucking ads when the ads were good and
back when the days were good there.
Yeah, we were talking about fucking 5 figures and that only lasted for like 2 months. So he had a taste of it, and when you have a taste of it, that's the fucking worst because you're like, fuck.
Yeah, he missed his opportunity with the ad thing. A lot of people got fucked on that, but he's got his opportunity with Super Chat if that's what he wants to do.
He's
make good money doing it. Yeah, make really good money on it.
He's
already fixing up. I mean, he's fixing up his fucking studio. He bought a Bing Bing Wahooey fucking Nintendo Switch and shit. So he's happy. He's enjoying himself.
God, those are terrible. But
all right, let me pause it for a second because they're saying F.
Oh, yeah. Well, at least I never got a taste of the good money. That way, I'd never missed it.
But they're saying F. Let me go back. What's it? 155.01. Let me go back a little bit. Now, my internet didn't go out. I think it was Streamy. Streamy's been having ever since they did that site update.
I tried watching Zoom stream and the fucking thing
running like shit.
It was running okay.
Yeah.
So on my phone, I was driving down the road and I just turned it to audio only, and it would kind of like stop every once in a while. But it was, wasn't that bad. But I'll go back to, let's see, 154.43 just to make sure everybody heard everything. But it wasn't my internet. It was definitely streaming. All right. By the way, Zoom, I heard you say, and I don't know if this is true or not, but you're like, well, they're saving their bandwidth for the big streamers or whatever. Do you really think that's the case?
It almost seems like that because, like, when you and Jim set your time slots, you don't have that problem. And then, like, when the smaller people come up and they get, like, anything over, like, 400 or 500 people watching them, the fucking entire thing just goes crazy. And it's not me. I have a gigabit up and a gigabit down. There's no way it's me.
Yeah, I think it's their site, especially since they update. The day they did their update, our stream was going up and down all night. A lot of people couldn't see it.
Weird.
And, I mean, look. Okay, anyway, I'll continue. 154.43 right now.
But he's got his opportunity with Super Chat if that's what he wants to do.
He's
make good money doing it. Yeah, make really good money on it.
He's
already fixing up. I mean, he's fixing up his fucking studio. He bought a Bing Bing Wahooey fucking Nintendo Switch and shit. So he's happy. He's enjoying himself.
God, those are terrible. But do you like Andy, Jim?
Oh
yeah, I think Andy's a likable guy. I don't really get like an ulterior motive off of him. You know what I mean?
That's how I feel too. But like people keep telling me like that he seems like a snake and like all this. Andy to me is the only person in this entire fucking deal who had anything to lose.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Andy is what Andy is. I really don't get a feeling like he's hiding something.
There's 30 people.
Yeah, he's I think right now he's probably really happy. He's doing well, and he's fucking excited about it, and he's really into what he's doing. And that's the feeling I get from him, and I'm glad for him. I'm glad he found something to work for him.
Here's the thing with Andy. Like, I'll let you know. At one point, he was getting tired of fucking fighting with people, and he wanted to, like, let's mend some bridges. Let's talk to Franny and talk to this person and everything. And then he got fucking burnt. And now with this thing, he's like, I'm tired of just doing what people expect me to do. Let me actually talk to some fucking. Sure, I'll talk to alt-writers and the SJWs. Now this is a fucking problem. So he's just saying fuck everybody, and that's why people are like, oh, why is Andy being such a prick? Because you guys are being pricks.
Mm-hmm.
He's just willing to have a conversation that no one else is willing to have, and people are ready to hear something that they haven't heard a million times.
Well, yeah, and again, it goes back to people getting pissed off because their way of doing it isn't working. And the thing is, anybody could have done what Andy did. I mean, they could have used that same format. They could have taken that same approach, but he's the one that decided to do it. They didn't. That's what pisses him off.
It's a really, like, with mine, like, I get a lot of shit, but mine is a really easy format. I talk for a minute, I read off a couple things, and then if two people want to fight, I let them.
Now let me pause it at 15303. Says, I talk for a minute, I read a couple things. If two people want to fight, I let them. That actually is a pretty good format, right, Jim? I mean,
well, again, I'm not listening to the recording, but based off memory, yeah, like looking back on it, because he's like, didn't he say? I think the way he phrased it was, "Do you think Andy's a snake or something?"
Yeah,
like
that's
that?
exactly. Yeah, other people are saying this. What do you think? Yeah,
I thought it was weird because I've said again privately what I've said publicly. I think Andy's a good guy, and I'm happy that he's doing well.
Yeah, and I'll say this: Andy is one of the. Who the fuck is Bing Bing Wahooing in the background? What is that?
I'm Bing Bing Wahooing.
In honor of Andy? Is that what's going on?
In honor of Andy.
All right, we'll turn on this a little bit. But I will say Andy is one of the most genuine people that I've met throughout all this, and he helped me when he had no reason to. When people told him not to, I mean, he got in a fight with JF over me, which, a lot of people said, what the fuck? Just, cut bait with Ralph. What's going on here? Matter of fact, a lot of people did tell him that, but yeah, go ahead, Jim.
And I think I paused there for a second. Like, if, looking back on it, it just kind of struck me as a weird question to ask out of the blue. Like, what do you think about it? Well, what do you mean snake? And again, to put this into context, the time period on this, if this was January or whatever, right when Pascal was doing the IMDb shit, that means that he was gay opping or setting up gay ops a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, I was in jail late January, so this, I wasn't even around for all this, but I just know that Andy is one of the most genuine people I've met, and he's helped me time and time again when there's nothing in it for him. And I still remember when Andy was getting, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 a night, and he plugged our stream to the hilt for nothing in return, just because, he liked me and he liked the show, and there was nothing in it for him. He didn't have to do that. And that's why, I'll
because I've never had I don't really talk to anybody outside of, the streams and stuff, because I'm kind of off doing my own thing. But the few conversations I've had with Andy, like if he sent me a DM or something, he's always been super nice. Like he's never done anything or acted in a way that would make me think he's a snake. And especially at the time, I'd only, known him for like a month. But it was just a really fucking weird, especially looking back on it, it's a really fucking weird question. So I've got to bring down his defenses by having some casual banter back and forth, get him relaxed, get him feeling comfortable. And then I slip it in at an opportune time when his defenses are hindsight now with everything that's gone on. It almost makes, because I don't know. I mean, there have been some stories going around about certain individuals blackmailing other individuals, and
there are, yes.
It makes me wonder if he wanted something in reserve. Because this is, I believe this is the only time I've ever talked to him off air. I think at the end of the stream.
I mean, I can say for a fact that's how he operates.
No, there was a moment that you talked off air with Andy and him as well.
Okay, well, more gay ops to come, Ralph. Fingers fucking crossed, buddy.
Ralph, look at your DM on Discord for a wonderful screenshot of our good friend Akajan talking about his education.
Now, let me ask you, Jim. I know you talked about this a little bit on Morsky's show earlier. What the current? I mean, look, Baked Alaska came on the show last night and tried to get me to fight him. And
I still think you're fag, Baked. Come at me. But the fight thing's not my thing. You boys do whatever you want. I think fighting in real life is gay as fuck, and the internet tough guy shit is gay as fuck. But if you can make it entertaining, whatever. I just think that Tonka was really serious about it. He's not doing it as a joke.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, if something like that happened with me, obviously I'm not I'm not a fucking fighter. I'm not trying to tell people to do that.
Yeah, I mean, he was serious about it, and it got on my nerves. That's why I brought it up as one thing.
Yeah, you bullied him out of fighting me, Jim. I came back 2 weeks later, and I was like, all right, let's do this fight.
It's such a fucking easy go-to excuse. Oh, I can't fight you, Zoom. Jim said.
That's literally what he told Andy when Andy wanted to book it.
Billy Hunters demanded Jim. So
he said Jim made fun of me, and I don't want to look like a fag to Jim, so I can't fight him. And he told that to Andy, and then he blocked me on Twitter, and he hasn't said a word to me since I bullied him on that one girl stream.
I think we can call this that even if I had not said anything, he would have found a way to weasel out of it, given the events with Andy.
I think that's the case.
With the weekend stuff, I thought it was funny. I enjoyed watching it happen. I'm glad that he got his fucking nose rubbed in it for being such a fag. I think the problem is not the problem. I thought this was going to be like this. This would kind of be the end cap of it. Like, oh, okay, Taka's a giant pussy. Yeah. How funny! You think it's bad? Like Metokur's Fembot or whatever has to listen to the. Toad's got to go through every archive to get the clips he needs. He's got to listen to fucking a year's worth of Kumite. All right, 5 hours a day, every day of the week for 12 months. He's going to shoot himself by the middle of next week. I don't know how he's going to do it.
Now, we were talking about this in Knoxville. Where do you rank? I mean, Tonka, I would say, I mean, like you said earlier, there's random Uber drivers making fun of this guy. Just random people at the event making fun of this guy. People who are not plugged into this stuff are laughing at him. This is spread beyond the normal corners that he lurks in. Where does this rank in terms of all-time history of internet blowouts here? I think it's got to be high up on the list, right? We were even talking about this with Dick Masterson.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you're talking like compared to recent shit, yeah, this is worse than Monday Matt for sure.
Yeah,
it's ranking up there with crowd. I mean, you see AP posted a bunch of Discord caps. They're making hit lists now.
Yeah, and we were talking about it with Masterson, and Maddox, obviously, with the lawsuit and stuff. I would say Maddox, if you want to go in terms of like length of time, his would probably be above it. I'm
talking about like level of implosion.
Yeah, that's what
a guy possibly going to prison for being a retard on the internet. That's pretty fucking exceptional. Like, there's some people that haven't gone to prison. Chris Chan hasn't gone to prison, and look at the shit that guy did. Like, he assaulted people, pepper sprayed motherfuckers, and he hasn't served a day in jail. But Tonka might end up going to big boy prison.
And isn't it more poetic? And I think you hit on this as well. I mean, he did it all to himself. I mean, it's not like
it's completely self-inflicted. Yeah, you can even hear it in that fucking conversation when I said like Andy is doing what anybody could have done. All he's got to do is put on an entertaining show. All Tonka had to do was sit down, read the super berries, and let people argue with each other. There's your format. Have a little bit of banter in between the fucking fight segments, and you've got to show people want to watch. And I don't know what the fuck made him go off the rails, but looking back on the audio, it seems like he was trying to do something. I don't know if he wanted, maybe he wanted to ditch failure and try to do a partnership with Andy, and maybe I don't know what the fuck is going on.
No, he wanted to be the fucking blood god. He fucking put it in his head that he wanted to be the guy that won all the fights.
Coach Red Pill did a video on this a few months ago, and I think he kind of hit on it. It's basically what you're saying, failure. And it was, I guess, part of it was the audience. Oh, Tonka's the blood god, whatever. He's the overseer of this stream, whatever. And he kind of turned it into, oh yeah, I actually am one of the legendary, blood sports combatants. And I remember listening to an early Kumite when I got out of jail, and you were both on there. I want to say you were on there, Jim. And people were like, oh, who would win a blood sports between Jim and Tonka? And I remember Tonka said, oh, well, what would we ever fight over? I mean, I don't know what would happen there.
He got so passive. Like, after I stopped watching the show and I was going to do it on my own thing, like, he kept throwing out barbs. I didn't really give a shit. but he just wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. So I started throwing some back, and he didn't like that. Like he was shit talking about views, and so I was like, oh, I'm blowing out of the water. That's not fair. You got a bigger sub base. So I compared him to you, and he really got mad at that. At the time, he had 17,000 subs, and you were still starting out with like 5, and you're like fucking quadruple his numbers. And was he mad about that fucking comment?
The blood god doesn't care about anything other than bringing blood to every show they're on.
I think
Tonka could never be the blood god. The only blood he has is the one coming out of his pussy once a month.
I just think he kind of bought into his own, hype, his own press, where, and Coach talked about this. His role was the host, basically. It's not about you getting in the host role, even with people I don't like. We had Baked Alaska on here last night. I'm not his biggest fan, obviously, but it's not always a call for me to try to fight with somebody or try to, get into it with them. Sometimes the host has to be the host. I mean, that's their role, right?
Ralph, another thing is that it was supposed to be people deciding who fucking cringy.
Well, he does that a lot.
Yeah, it was a bit, all right? I was doing this thing. It was back when people used to watch Goldberg back in 1998 on WCW. That was my bit. It made everybody mad. I was trolling the entire scene. They had no idea I was masterminding. That was the ultimate gay op.
Wait, was that what Andy was quoting? Like in the video I put, I put a clip of Andy making fun of Tonka, and he kept saying, "All you do is scream ho, ho, bitch, ho" at people.
Yeah.
Is it the Ranting Monkey one he's mocking when he's saying that?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm not fucking joking, Jim. He spent like fucking 10 minutes just yelling ho at him to the point that even like the fucking diehards were like, okay, this is getting old.
Well, he does that all the time, though. You just try to scream over somebody for 5-10 minutes and just say I won, but of course it's just a bit. He was just riffing off Goldberg. I don't know. It's just
I'm more interested in let me pull the room here. Where do you think this is going to go? What do you think he's going to do? When he finally does stream, and I have a feeling he is going to. What do you think? What is he going to say? How is he going to try to take this back?
Okay, I got one prediction. He'll say he will not attack failure.
Yeah, well, he said that before. I think what he's going to do, he thinks, judging by some of the leaks from the Discord, he thinks he has some type of like dirt or line on the promoters there in Knoxville. And if you read some of their, I guess it was Vamp said screw job. Somebody else said, oh, they paid them off. I can personally attest to, we didn't pay anybody off. We actually all came out of pocket and lost money on the event. Well, besides the free booze that I got to take back. But other than that, nobody paid the promoter. We went down there and spent money and didn't make anything just to shit on him and have fun with it, because he completely bitched out in the event, and there would have, all these people would have spent all this money and they wouldn't have had anything to hang their hat on. So we at least wanted to go out there for, 4 or 5 minutes and give them something. So I really hope he does go with that line, because it's going to add to the, reasons that they have to sue him.
What could he honestly do at this point, Ethan?
I don't know.
We literally have him on recording. We have him lying about collecting money for this fight. We have him lying about collecting money for failure. And then the best part is all these Discord leaks where he fucking flat out says in a private channel that he's taken the money from the fans and he's gone on vacation with it instead of going to the fight.
Now, did he say that? Like, what was the quote there exactly?
Let me get it.
All right. Because I heard you talk about that earlier. Now, originally he said he was going to Knoxville no matter what, remember? And, of course, I won't break the law, but I'll be there in Knoxville, basically. If he the secret recordings, he said, well, any screenshot, you can't really trust.
Well, yeah, and that's why, like, when it happened to Kraut with his Discord, because I think it was Braving Ruin or Guardian, one of them made a fucking recordings just scrolling through everything, showing it.
Yeah,
I got it from 2 different sources that don't even know each other. So
okay, well, that's good.
I usually take it based upon that. So if I have one person that does not know the other person and they both send me the exact same screenshot,
hopefully it wasn't a Kujin and T. Scables or whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
Oh, that guy is a fucking. Oh my god.
It has been impressive just how many of there have been a lot of hardcore Kumatards that have turned on him, though.
They're fucking cat ladies. Like the ones that have stuck by him are cat ladies, and he's got other cat. That's what he
said. I just got back from the trip with who I am with, and I didn't want to ignore them after the trip. We did a bunch of shit yesterday and today, and went for a meal, and then I decided to come here. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day, and then maybe I will hop on and see what's going on later.
Now,
and that was literally just the other day.
Can you like send that to me so I can pull it up on screen?
Yeah, these were screenshots that were taken directly from his Discord in the past 2 days.
But I was actually talking, and I talked about this the other night, Jim, with Sofane. He was actually at the, post fight and stuff. I guess he went to the regular, the actual fight too. And he said, and he was positive towards Tonka right up until, the shit went down. And he said, I would have had a lot more respect for him had he actually shown up, even though they said he couldn't fight. If he would have showed up to the weigh-in and said, hey, I made weight, if he would have showed up, and whether they let him weigh or not, and then just show up to the post-fight, show up to everything, show your face, don't hide, that at least, he would have some type of place to put his hat. You know what I mean? Like he would...
Well, while you're bringing that up on screen, I'm kind of curious. Failure. So, what do you think of his Discord saying you're a cock? on AP's timeline, he posted some stuff they were talking about, but a cut off at the very top of it. It says Jim suggested that. Did Failure already cuck? So, what are your thoughts on them calling you a cuck?
Well, basically because I'm being open and fucking, telling the truth and showing stuff. So now I'm a cuck because, yeah, if I'm talking over here, I'm a bad guy now. All right.
You need to do that stream, Failure. You need to just fucking drop it all.
I will. I'm gonna take screenshots of all the DMs. I'll ask AP if he wants to throw his fucking 50 text messages that he got on his phone. And yeah, I'll fucking drop it.
All right, here goes the first screen. Metokur God Emperor is what he's known as on Discord, Jim, by the way.
I love it. Yeah, I said this before. The whole Metokur name is just to take the piss out of Haberman because he tried to wipe it from the internet. So feel free to throw that in your username.
I actually have a video of him talking about how he's overcoming you by making that his name or some shit like that. It's so gay.
What a fucking moron. I just want to fuck with John, Donga. Like, that's all I cared about with the name. Feel free to use it, bud.
He says, I just found out that people think I am going to stream for some reason. I am at dinner. Naomi isn't banned, who I don't know who that is, says, I'm not even going to read that because it has nothing to do with anything. Latverian Savage says, what are you eating? And then he says, and here comes the food, which he kind of...
Who the fuck is in their Discord? Like, this guy lives on this Discord. I'm at dinner at a restaurant, but let me talk to these faggots online. What are you doing?
I don't know. Like, all right, here's the thing with him. He's always been lanky, but like I didn't see like that much muscle. He was lean, but like you saw Andy fucking, you could tell like, okay, yeah, he was training. Hell, I've fucking been fucking training. I gotta say, stop starting fucking. So what? I'm really trying to think. What time did he train? He also lied. Well, he said I was lying about him going to American Top Team, but at one point he said he was going to American Top Team to train, and then he rolled that back.
All right, here goes the next one. Metokur God Emperor, aka Tonka, says, I have some new info, but I didn't mean to make you think I was going to be on air today. It may be tomorrow or the next day. And American Gadfly, who is deep in the tank for Tonka, says, right on. Ban Brian says, no problem. And then Tonka says...
Wait a minute. That couldn't be Mr. Outline. That's not
no,
the problem.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right, I'm just... I don't think he likes him, so I think it'd be weird if they're
That'd
together.
bring it all full circle. No, I don't think it's him. And then Tonka says, and I am not streaming dinner. What the fuck is wrong with you people? And I think Zoom said...
Goofs.
Yeah, goofs. That would have made it perfect if that would be actually what he said. There's one more. Let me pull this up. And he says, I just got back from the trip with who I am with. I wonder who that could be. With who I am with and didn't want to ignore them after the trip. We did a bunch of shit yesterday and today went for a meal and then I came in here going to enjoy the rest of the day and then I will maybe hop back in to see what's going on later. And he got 10, like the, what do they call those? Like the rock horns that you give at a concert. I forget what they're called. Like the Longhorn, if you're a Texas Longhorn fan.
Wait, they have a Reddit rating system in Discord, really?
Yeah, they do. It's like Slack, if you've ever been on Slack, where they have, like, you can put an emoji underneath and they'll rate it.
I sent you another one, Ethan. He claims that he paid fucking AP's child support for over a year or two.
Yeah, AP was pissed about that on Twitter.
Yeah, he was. A complete lie. But, okay, let me zoom out, make sure I got it all. He says, Oh, J Love, who's some random thought, I don't know who it is, says, wait, I'm lost on the AP thing. Then Tonka says, he didn't have enough money to stay out of jail, and I paid his child support for months, starting when he was with Gulf City and going beyond. And then there's like, oh, wow, I didn't know that, for a couple of others. Oh, yeah, Jessica, age 74, says, I didn't know you paid his child support like that. Fucking hell, Tonka. J Love says,
only 2 months.
Good for you, Tonka. Yeah, well, I don't know. I had a bet with Coach Red Pill that he wouldn't delete his channel.
You haven't lost yet. He didn't delete the channel.
No, yeah, exactly. I'm glad you said that because people last night was like, oh, Ralph, you're full of shit. He has to delete the channel for me to actually lose. I mean,
yeah, that was the other thing too. Hold on, let me just double check this because somebody told me this, and I want to see if it's true or not. Okay, so if you go onto his channel, right, and you look at his playlist, because people were like, "Is he deleting or privating the videos?" And somebody's like, "Oh, he's deleting them." But if you go into the playlist, right, like Kumite events, Kumite this, Kumite that, they're not deleted. It says next to every video, private.
No, they're privated.
Yeah, you can see that.
His claim was that he had 4 strikes on his channel, he told somebody.
I've never seen anybody get hit with 4 strikes in a row and still be able to upload videos.
Well, you can't. They'll delete your channel if it's only 3 strikes.
3 strikes and you're out.
Yeah, it's 3 strikes and you're out. And I mean, look what happened to fucking Monkey Jones or ER or them. Like 1 or 2 strikes fucked them up. So
well, he also claimed that he was in Knoxville. He didn't go to the event, but he was in Knoxville.
He was not in Knoxville.
He was in Jacksonville too. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh, I was going to fight you, Andy, when he was on Rakita's stream. You pussed out, you didn't show up, and then you go on Vamp's fucking Twitter timeline, and she's like, "That's terrorism, Andy. If you come to America to beat Donka up, that's terrorism."
Where's Tonka?
Not only that, but they might that might get you banned from the United States. You may never be able to come back. And
she faked her grandmother having a stroke so that her boyfriend on the internet didn't look like a pussy. Who does that?
Vamp. I don't think Vamp will
Or
ever
also
turn.
tries to change their name 2 days before a scheduled fight and sign the wrong name in November.
Yeah, that's really fucking weird.
And then say that you filed it, but then when you call the court, they have no record of it ever being filed.
He never had any intention of actually going to any of these fights. He was just putting them out there, and because no one took him up on it, he would be like, "Well, I win," because no one accepted. I win, and that's why he's the internet tough guy.
By the way, Ralph, while we're all on here,
Sure.
We said we were going to talk about the GoFundMe thing and about
yeah,
what
we
you
could
guys
talk
wanna
about
do
that.
for that.
Yeah. Basically, Coach Red Pill kind of said he didn't want to do it, and so that's where I was at. I mean, I'm still not necessarily against going down there and filming some stuff, but that's kind of why. Yeah, so
a certain autist got really mad that he lost his StreamE account, so he hit up CRP and told him a bullshit story, and then CRP got spooked and doesn't really want to be involved now.
Yeah, I mean, look, it wasn't my idea anyway, but it would be funny to go down there to his hometown.
So I'm gonna close the GoFundMe thing and refund all the money to people so they don't feel like they got Tonka sawed. And after we can get approval, from your PO in a couple of months.
Literally,
then we can do a low budget road trip down there. See more about that, like we promised people.
Well, I'll be off probation here in a couple months. I won't even have to get approval. But
fuck that then.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I did think it would be funny to go down there and just whether we got to talk to them or not, just take a peek behind the scenes there in Tonka's hometown. I'm not necessarily against that. I think that would be kind of funny. But I wonder if Tonka's even going to be there. He might already be arrested.
I just want to have tea with his Mima. Hear about it. Hear about Robbie's childhood. How he grew up to be so fucked up in the head.
Now, let me ask you, Jim. Do you actually think there's a chance that he will go to jail?
I have no idea.
I mean, it's all speculation. I mean,
Look, I thought he was just a giant pussy that ran his mouth, and then got outed as being a giant pussy that ran his mouth. But now all this financial shit's dropping, like fake notary stamps and stuff. I mean, it's going to be entertaining as fuck to watch one way or the other, because I'm almost 100% certain, like I said, he's going to stream. And he'll probably try to address every allegation that's been out there now for the last 3 or 4 days. And it's just going to be a fucking train wreck. And everybody knows it's going to be a train wreck. And I'm looking forward to it. And if there is any reality to, fake contracts, fake blood work, tax weirdness and shit like that, Him deleting all those videos or privating all those videos, I don't think is strike related. I think that would probably be him getting really nervous. But unfortunately for him, so much shit has been archived. It's not like he can make it go away.
I think that's lawsuit related. And also when I heard that the AdSense was under his grandmother's name, that type of shit there makes me think that the stuff about tax evasion, that there is actually something to that. And
it's not even so much that. It's when you guys were talking about he set up, what the fuck was it? Like a charitable LLC.
Yeah. And that's a whole nother level. That's fucking federal crime when you start doing.
Well, no, that's the one that. Yeah, that's the one that got
his grandmother ran a non-for-profit LLC, and it ran alongside like a church in the area in a certain county, and it was kind of like a CCD thing, like for confirmation.
Holy shit! Wait a second, failure! Didn't you just say earlier in the stream that Tonka told you he was a pastor?
Yeah, in the past.
Wait, he was a pastor in the past, and Meemaw runs an LLC, a religious LLC. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Do you get what I'm saying here?
Yes, I do.
And then it's really weird because when you actually like look up the thing, it's registered in his grandmother's name, and she's the only person that's listed on the actual business license. But there's no evidence of the business being in operation, yet it's declaring taxes every tax season, and it's registered with the state of Alabama. So I don't know how it's an active business license that's declaring taxes every season when it's not. It's nowhere. The old business has been closed down since 2003. It was the last business listing that was on record, and now all of a sudden it's gone. It has no business listing. It's registered to a PO box about 2 hours from Tonka's house. It's very strange.
I'm looking forward to the adventures of Pastor Donga and the charitable LLC that Meemaw runs. But I'm tired.
Yeah. Go ahead. Thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it. Those bombshell secret recordings, you had to be here for that.
I had to defend myself against the hard
You really did. They were damning, Jim.
Just damning.
You'd be ashamed.
I
had to listen to all that shit too.
You poor motherfucker. But I don't know what's going to happen with Donga. But my speculation is sometime probably in the next week he's going to at least put up some kind of response, and it's going to be funny as shit. So
I'll wait real quick before you go. I don't want to keep you too long, but what is his? Isn't it kind of he's falling into the full lolcow cycle? Because most people with a brain, even half a brain, would just delete everything and get off the internet, but he can't help himself at this point, right? I mean, anything he does is just going to add fuel to the fire. What is the mindset behind that?
Oh, I just like to point out, if Dog ever hears this clip, you're dumber than Fred Fox, because at least Fred Fox walked away, you stupid shit. You are dumber than a giant A-log. Think about it, Tonka. Think about it and weep, you stupid cunt. All right, have a good night.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Later, Jim.
Anyway, thanks, Jim, for...
Oh my God. I don't know. I just sit here and think, like, what is his mindset? Why would he, there's literally nothing he could say that would make any of this better. And he just can't help himself, and he's going to continue to feed it. Honestly, if he went away and just fucked off and never showed his face again, deleted his Discord account, there's a slim chance, maybe even better than slim, that it might amount to nothing. People will just stop. Not Zoom, of course, but other people might stop. But he just can't. He can't find it within him to do that. You would think he's not internet people. He would just, all right, whatever. It's all over. I'll just delete my shit. But the sad fact of the matter is, Donga is internet people, and he is very deep into the internet people mindset, and he just can't walk away.
He's stuck, and he wants to be relevant forever. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes away and comes back as someone else, or pretends to be someone else.
Yeah, but that's not gonna work. I mean, I thought the same thing, but
I know it's not gonna work. But there's a lot of things he tried to do that didn't work.
Well, literally everything. Well, at least since it was working there for
especially
a while.
Walking.
Oh, poor Donga. By the way, we have this tranny here. Is that even worth? Oh, Jesus, Joe, you have the strangest Photoshop skills. My wife is thicker than that, by the way. I'll point that out. Let me bring in, let's see, Roxy. What is even going on? All right, now you're some tranny that used to fuck with Donga. Is that what I'm led to believe?
Yeah, that's exactly what.
Okay, so
well, sort of. I was a classmate of his back in high school. He was always like secretly trying to hit on me, and anytime I'd bring it up around our like mutual friend group, he'd always like hardcore deny it.
Okay, so how did you meet Donga? You said you were a classmate. How did that work?
Yeah, like all of our group of friends were like the losers of the school.